Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is Binky here today trying out a new Zoologist scent. Yes, dead of winter, but it is hot in here because the temperature went up above freezing and everybody's still cranking their heat. And I'm in between and it's hot in here, but that's okay because I'm not paying for that heat. Keep cranking it. So there you go. So today I am going to, again, I'm going to put these back into a box. I really am because I feel like that just worked better. And I'm just going to grab a random one. I actually have like two. I know. Which one do I do? Which one do I do? I can't even see. Which one? Let's go with this one. What was this? B. This one is T-Rex. Now there are a couple scents that I've heard about. And T-Rex is one of them. Cow and T-Rex were the big ones that I had read about. And B a little bit, which was ironically the one that I almost used. So let's look at the notes to T-Rex. Now I've heard that this one is interesting. This is what kind of got me onto the brand. So the other ones like Beaver and stuff, really I didn't know a lot about, but there was a few that you hear about. And here's this guy. He's undercover because he's gonna whoop your butt with this scent apparently. So I like this sultry heat. It wafts across the land and it probably will across my body. So it's a gargantuan scent that sinks its teeth into the world of delicate fabric and rips it wide open. Oof. That is not my scent profile, but it's going to be today. So this is going to be interesting. Smoky charred wood warns of the dangers of smoldering fire, setting your senses on edge while droplets of metallic rose oxide offering a chilling premonition of bloodlust. I mean, sounds like another day on the subway. So anyway, yes. Wow. So top notes are bergamot. That's a strong one. Black pepper, fir, laurel leaf, neroli, and nutmeg. Now those are strong opening scents. Like that, I'm a little bit nervous. So heart notes. Champaca, I hope I'm saying that right, geranium, jasmine, osmanthus, rose, lang lang. I always hope I'm saying that right. I know what it is and it's one of my favorite scents. At least I'm not saying oud instead of oud. I know, I apologize for that, but there's none in here. Sometimes I just have those moments. And the base notes, resins, cade, cedar, civet, frankincense, leather, patchouli, sandalwood, and vanilla. I was like, here's a little vanilla just to soften it up. Sure. And of course, no animal products were used, and that's great, especially considering T-Rex is no longer. Some say this scent may have done him in. I don't know. So let's see. Oof, that is dark and mysterious. Is this a spray one? Oh, I hope so. There it is. Okay. I can't smell anything yet. It is dark and mysterious, and I'm nervous because I've heard things about this, but you know what? Don't. It can wash off, right? We hope. Okay. Come on. Okay. One on my wrist. Oh, wow. Oh. Okay, that's enough. Ooh. 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 Okay. So I'm getting, I don't even have to sniff my wrist. My cats are probably like, what the? It smells like gasoline. It smells like gasoline. Oh, wow. Not diesel. No, actually, it smells like a mix of diesel and regular. No, diesel. It is more diesel. It's barbecue. It's a barbecue pit. That's what this is. Oh, no, don't sniff it that close. Do not sniff it that close. That was a big mistake. Yeah. So it's like I've gone to Texas and it's a really well-known barbecue place and they have like a pepper rub on it. So I know that's not how Texas fully does it, but there's that peppery rub on it and they're throwing the meat on there. And yeah, that is gas. So I smell like gas, or barbecue. Apologies. I smell like barbecue. with pepper. You do not want to go in and sniff this. Like, I mean, I will, because, that is strong. You want to, where cow failed with silage and projection, T-Rex is making my nose burn. Okay. It's mellowing out a bit. It is mellowing out a bit. It smells like barbecue. It smells like barbecue gas when they're throwing the slabs on there with a strong peppery scent. A peppery frankincense. I don't even think frankincense is on there. Maybe it's the patchouli, because they kind of go together in an atmospheric sense. Yeah. So I definitely get pepper, barbecue, and like the patchouli aspect. I wish there was vanilla. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So this, of course, we really don't have any stories about T-Rex. We know what T-Rex is. This guy is bold. This guy wants your attention, is going to get your attention. And this is burning my nostrils. This, it smells better on here. On my skin, no. It smells better on the shirt. On the shirt, oh wow. On the fabric, it's really not that bad. It's not that good, but it's not that bad. It smells like charcoal. It smells like charcoal and floral. Very interesting. Oh my gosh. Okay. Black pepper, I wish I had the bergamot, because I feel like it would cut through it a little bit. I don't get nutmeg. I do get a floral, but I can't really tell what the floral is because it's just too much. Okay, I do. It's the lang lang, I think is how you say it. And if I'm wrong, apologies. I do get that. I don't get the rose. Ooh, the frankincense is in there. So frankincense and patchouli. I can definitely get a sandalwood. Ooh, it's cloying. Oh, it's cloying. This would be an interesting signature scent. I would applaud you if you did it, just because people would definitely remember you if you wore this. I wonder how many people actually wear this though, but it depends on your chemistry. Much better on the shirt. Much better on the shirt than on my chemistry. So what I'm going to do is let this sit for an hour. Oh, this is really cloying. It's kind of giving me a slight headache, to be honest with you. So, ooh, yeah, it is. Let's see how I feel in an hour, but it really is making a sharp, like I'm getting the sharp sense in my nose. Just, it's really, so yeah. So we are going to give this a try for an hour, and I hope I can wear it that long or that it mellows out, because this is a powerhouse. And to be fair, T-Rex was a powerhouse, so I understand why it was done the way it was. But this one is no joke. See you at the hour mark. Okay, so it has been about an hour and a half actually, and T-Rex is still going strong. Now this is what I will say, is that it is mellowed out quite a bit. For the first 45 minutes, I would say it was really, really strong, to the point where it was burning my nose and causing a little bit of headache, but then it mellowed out a bit. And so maybe, I don't know, maybe it's Stockholm syndrome and I just got used to it. I don't know, but it isn't quite as cloying as it was. And I would think with something like, I get whiffs of it. I don't think it just disappears and your nose gets used to it. I do get whiffs of it, especially when I do this, or if I move around quickly, it's on my shirt so I can smell it. So I will say chemistry plays a big part, which it always does in everything, but especially in this, because it's very different now on my wrist versus on my shirt. So here's the thing, on my wrist, it actually mellows out to something really beautiful. And that's, I know, I'm like, what? So it's definitely not as strong I'm noticing that with these scents that they don't last as long on the skin. Of course, in clothing, it can get into the clothing and grip a little bit better, but I definitely get a lot of the pepperiness of it, but now the florals are coming through. Finally, the florals are coming through. So I want to gather which ones. They use jasmine, which I am getting. I'm not getting the rose. I'm getting jasmine with lang lang. Definitely getting those with black pepper for sure. Huh, that is so interesting. It really is. A lot of the stuff I feel gets lost. Yep, so I get the floral, I get the bergamot, I get the smoke, I get the black pepper. It's actually quite nice on my skin. I didn't think I would say this because honestly, it was a lot. The problem is on my shirt. On my shirt, it remains the initial scent, which was very much going into a smokehouse where meat is being smoked. It's that kind of a thing. It's very much a very ashy scent, and I'm not really digging that. That, if it could smell like this, I'd be fine. But on my shirt, it just smells like a mix of smokehouse and gasoline and pepper. And it was just, when you first put it on, it's unrelenting. It's wave after wave after wave of that. And it's still going really strong on the shirt. Not as much as it was with the initial spray, but it's heavy. It's really heavy. So what I'm going to do is I am going to revisit this probably at the 4-hour mark, and we will talk about it for the final time. So we will be right back. I'll see you in a bit. All right, we made it. We are at the end of our adventure, much like the T-Rex, 66 billion years ago? I don't know. 66 million? I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but yes. Whew, what an adventure that one was. So it's been about 5 hours. It's getting darkish. It's interesting because on my wrist, it's not as bold as it once was. It really, and I'm finding with zoologists, they don't stay on skin very long. And so that's why it's always good with perfume to put it on your clothing. Of course, I'm sure you all know this, but that's why I put some on clothing and some on my arm, because it will change it. And a lot of the time, if you do both, it'll just be a morphing of the two. But it really does make a huge difference. So just know that it makes a huge difference. So T-Rex is not that strong anymore on my wrist. I know some people said it was like huge and like bold on the wrist, but I really can't smell it that much. I mean, it's more of a skin scent, believe it or not. And part of it is maybe it's just my skin chemistry is I just don't keep stuff as long on my skin. That may just be it. I do tend to have oily skin. Maybe that's part of it. More on my face, not my body, but you know, who knows? But it's kind of a spicy, smoky floral. And I do get the lang lang mostly coming through with it. And so it does make it unique, but it isn't necessarily something I would gravitate towards even if it was on my skin. It's just a little bit too much for me. But as far as the shirt, ooh, it is going strong. It is going so strong on this shirt that I'm going to remove it and put it straight into the wash. Because this scent, it's still that, if you put it on your clothing, beware. It's not coming out. You're going to need to wash it. This is not something that's going to fade in a couple hours. I think this is going to stay for weeks. It is that strong on clothing. It really grips into it. And oof, it just doesn't improve. So here it improves on the skin, but oh my gosh, seriously, it gave me a headache. And just smelling it again, it's burning my nostrils and giving me that headache again. So yeah, I could feel it in my head. So I'm done with that. It's not what you want when you're wearing a perfume. And it's too much. It's just, I would say this is very much, it's hard to get a lot of the notes because it's so strong. It's almost like it's like I said, you're in Texas and you're going into a smokehouse and you open the smokehouse, but it doesn't have the cedar smell to it. It's just like they use gasoline to kind of fuel it originally, and so it's gasoline and pepper for rub, and it's just too much. This is a really bad steakhouse because they don't know how to do it right, and they're trying to charge really expensive prices to make cash, but the meat isn't very it's not good quality, and their rub is horrible, and they don't know how to smoke the meat right, and it's garbage. This business is going to fail. That's what this smells like to me. It's just too much. It's headache inducing. It's just too strong. I just pepper, gasoline, and smoke. That's what I get. I don't get the floral. I don't even want to smell it again. No offense. I'm not. If you like this, yes. For me, I don't want to smell it ever again. I don't. It's burning my lungs. It's burning my lungs when I breathe it and nose, and that's not good. So, this just evokes memories of what I just described. I mean, I could see why it would be T-Rex. It smells like T-Rex after the meteor hit. Of course, if you were hit by the meteor, you would immediately, so you'd be that burnt speck 1 second after it happened. Or perhaps you're one of the T-Rexes that was hanging out near the blast site, but not enough to be obliterated. So you're basically a smoky, charred piece of meat that got nailed. Not the other dinosaurs that slowly didn't have the sun and the dust basically suffocated them and they died that way, the slow way. This is the one who got charred away from the actual blast site, but close enough where it got barbecued. Yeah, that's what T-Rex smells like. Or, I'm not trying to be cheeky or rude, but yeah, it kind of smells like Hades. This is what I think the Greeks and Romans were talking about when they were trying to describe Hades. I think this is what this is what Hades scent would be. In Greek mythology, Hades would be wearing this, and this would just permeate all of Hades. Yeah. This is what hell would smell like. Pretty much. Not this. This is lovelier. Look, if you could pull this off as your signature scent, nobody will ever forget you. If I could pull this scent out in a lineup, if I smelled this on somebody, I would know. Once you smell it, you will never forget it. Like some of the other ones, like cow, I kind of remember, but this I will always remember. I will always remember this moment. Scent is a very powerful sense, and I hope, yeah, I'm done with this one. I mean, this isn't so bad, but there's other perfumes close to this that I could duplicate it, but I don't want to because it just is too, no. So if I were going to rate this one is hard. What I do is I would rate it high for how unique it is, especially for being a niche brand. This is what you're looking for. If you're looking for something to knock your socks off, this is the one. If you want to prank your friends, this is the one. If you're into dinosaurs, this is the one, because it does represent T-Rex, who's a big old jerk. It represents it because he was big, he was bad, he was bold. This is bold, and some may say bad. I mean, I'm not going to say that because somewhere out there, this is somebody's signature scent and they love it, but they're not putting it on their clothing. They're putting it on their skin because it just smells better that way. Really, on clothing is too much, but I'm not ripping on it. If this is your signature scent, you're a badass, I swear, because wow, like you're probably pretty cool. My cat is parkouring. You are probably pretty cool. I would grab a beer with you because that's just, I want to hear your story. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But if I were going to rate it off originality and craziness, I would definitely give it a 10. If I'm going off wearability and my personal viewpoint, if I would wear this again, especially on the clothing, I'm going to give this a 1.5. This, higher. This is a 5. This is a 5 on the wrist. On my clothing, it's 1.5. It's just, it was burning my lungs, my nose. giving me a headache. Not what I'm about. So, yeah. I mean, I didn't much care for camel, but the difference between camel was it just smelled like poo a little bit. Like barnyard. I prefer barnyard. I think that's a little bit kinder. This is just so bold and in your face that it hurts. So I'm going to take this off and put it straight in the not even the hamper. It's being washed. And yeah, I think I'm ready to move on to the next scent. So that was T-Rex, the big bold scent of Zoologist. It lives up to its name. And with that, my friends, have a fabulous day. Bye.